Guys, what are we looking at? Well, like the title said, you're looking at a knife you've probably never seen before. This, as you can see it on the table, is the Precision Knife Works Warrentac, which is a very, very good little reverse flick only Wharncliffe folder. So not to waste any more time, let's turn this around. We'll look at it from above. I've only had it in pockets. You know, I'm filming this after the main body of the video. I've only had it in pockets for a couple hours now. I really like it. So let's take a look at it. Guys, what are we looking at? Well, like I said in the intro, this is a knife you probably haven't seen before because this is still a prototype. These will not be out until April of 2023. I think there is a pre-order. I will get the information when I do the final video on this, or I will put it in the description below. But this is a very, very nice, very well-built Wharncliffe EDC folder frame lock. It is so light. This was sent to me by the designer, Daniel, over at Precision Knife Works. Now, Daniel has been a big supporter of the channel for a long time. One of my paying members came up with this design. So there is a spec sheet that's included. I'm not going to get spec heavy, but you're looking at a hollow ground 20 CV blade with a huge aperture, run-on bearings. The OEM for this is QSP. Now, if you've ever had any QSP knives, you know they're really good. I have not carried this really except for about 20 minutes today, because it's a prototype and I don't want to screw it up. I know he said I could use it for a lot of stuff, but what I will point out to you guys and show you is here in a little bit is how light it is. But first things first, as always, as we always do here, let's do some size comparison. Your first knife's going to be the 9-inch Kaiser Begleiter XL, because that just happens to be what was in my pocket. And if you watched the video the other day, right after that video, I swapped my button for mine for the black one. So if you get them from White Mountain Knives, they come with a replacement plunger for your lock. So you can see it's not small. It's deceptively big. It feels small in hand, but it's not that much smaller than that knife. Your next knife's going to be a really good QSP knife, the QSP Penguin. As you can see, the Penguin is a lot smaller than this Warrentac. So you can see it's not little. Let's go ahead and bring out our final knife, which, as always, is going to be the Chris Reese Sebenza Large 21. And you can see they are almost 1-for-1 in size. There will be a full carry review of this. I am going to carry it. I am going to use it. You'll see a full review of it later. So let's go ahead and get this out of the way, and let's talk about the things that I've noticed here in the last hour or so now that I'm getting back to filming. So Daniel sent me this a while ago, and I have to apologize to him. It has been here for much longer than it should have been. But I will tell you, this thing is great. Now, I don't think that there's going to be a good and bad on this. I think we're just going to talk about it because I have not found anything bad yet, which is unusual. So this thing is done in titanium, hollow ground 20 CV. Nice blade on this. It is sharp. I will have one kind of critique towards the end. Super light because of all of that weight reduction there. And it has a great pocket clip. And Daniel, being intelligent and smart and listening to things that knife makers and knife reviewers say, has put the cutout for the lock bar spring tension on the inside so that no matter where this pocket clip is positioned, it does not catch. This thing is smooth as silk in and out of pockets. And for you lefties, yep, reversible pocket clip with what? As I always say, not only a screw, but a plate to protect the spot where if you decide you're going to swap it, you don't have to clean it out because it got dirty. Pivot sits nice and flush, and then you've got... Daniel must listen to a lot of the things I say on this channel. That jimping is perfect. That is perfect jimping. The only jimping that I think gets better, that's that small jimping, is if it's done by hand with a checkering file like Jim Skelton does. That is really just sticky jimping. I don't care what kind of jimping you use as long as it's effective. And then beautiful blade with that huge aperture. The action is just shy of drop shut. A lot of that has to do, drop shutting on a knife sometimes, well, the majority of times has a lot to do with weight. And I'm telling you right now, that's a very light blade. The balance on it, right where I want it, just about the pivot or a little bit further forward. And that fuller, not only that, or not that fuller, but that aperture not only gives you a great platform for deployment, which is the only form of deployment, it reduces a little bit of the weight on this knife. So you're looking at a really light package. PWK, there you go. There's only one thing that I honestly can say about this so far that I've noticed in this first day. And that is, it could be a little thinner behind the edge. If you're going to do a hollow grind, I would prefer that it came down a little bit thinner behind the edge. This is a little thick. That is the only negative thing I've found so far. I didn't do much cutting. That, and I know it's a prototype, but there's some definite wavering on that edge grind. As you can see, one side is fairly nice and straight, and then this side has got some waves going up and down the edge grind. That could be a primary grind. I do know that prototypes a lot of times are roughly constructed because it is a prototype. So probably a little more polished. Not that was, like I said, the only thing I could think that would be at all a negative is it could be a little thinner behind the edge. So yeah, that's about all I've got on it. I'm really impressed with it. I pulled it out. I was like, oh crap, because we had the fumigation, and I put stuff away and took them over to a friend's house because I didn't want to leave a lot of high-end and customers' knives and expensive knives here. So I picked these back up and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I really got to do this. And I got to say, I'm pleasantly surprised. Oh, T8 hardware everywhere, all the way around. So you only need one bit to do it. So yeah, nice, light little EDC. Well done, Daniel. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. Like I said, I'll put out the information about it. If there's a pre-order and stuff, I'll find out from Daniel and I'll put it out. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and send you out about your day. So there you go, guys. I am going to apologize for the very uniform attire you're going to see over the course of the next few videos, probably, because I will tell you, over the last few days, the warmest it's been in the studio has been 52 degrees. We had a unseasonably cold snap, but yeah, this is a very, very good knife. I didn't mention it, but I will. In hand, the comfort, the radius of the back is great. Like I said, when I filmed it, I'd only been carrying it for about 20 minutes. Now I've been carrying it for probably two and a half hours, and I've used it a few times. It is really comfortable. It just seems to fit the hand almost my hand almost perfectly. So well done, Daniel. I will get the review done of this. I'll get it carried and lightly use it because I do know I've got to get it back to him, and it has to go to some other people. Such a fun little knife, and it's a nice change. I typically don't like being limited, but the fact that they did reverse flick only and they did it so well is really good. And anything that QSP has made recently that I've seen has been really, really good. So guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, be like that my small little band of haters that just dislikes every video I do. So you're still a fan. If you watch all of it, you're still a fan. And I got news for you, downvotes, they still help your channel on the algorithm. It's still an interaction. So if you want to support the channel, though, like I said, like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. Those are all the best ways to get to help the channel. It helps push you up the algorithm. If you do hit the bell icon, make sure you've got it set to all, and make sure you've got notifications turned on your device, because I am working to step up the amount of content per day and per week, and even try to get some weekend content. If you want to support the channel financially, however, there's a bunch of ways. I have a ton of affiliates down below. I'm not going to get into all that. Some of them have discounts: Coffee Brand Coffee, Atlas VPN. They all support the channel. It doesn't cost you anything at checkout. I have a membership, 3 tiers. Everyone has access to the Gilded server. Baseline and Premium guys are automatically entered into a giveaway that I do on the Gilded server when I do it. I just haven't done one in a while. And the Premium guys have access to a sharpening tutorial series here on YouTube behind that paywall. The final way is I do have a merchandise store on Ember Shirt Co. If you want to pick up my merchandise or other creators' merchandise, you can use my coupon code CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word. It saves you 10% at checkout. CrazySharp, capital C, capital S, all one word, 10% off. Guys, that's it on this one. I love you all. If it's your birthday, happy birthday, and I will see you in the next video.